Hello, y'all. Welcome. Okay, get on in here. Let's talk power. All right, this is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika, and this is Power Season 1, Episode 5. Take me home. All right, and boy, let me tell y'all, we already know with Power. Usually, number 5 is when we start getting the explosions. Leading into number 6, and then it's usually like 8 and 9 or whatever when they do whatever big bang. And listen, they gave me what I wanted. This was all right. I was here for it. I liked it. Okay. So we started out the episode with Tommy thinking about everything. He's hearing what Tatiana was saying to him. He's hearing what Claudia was saying, what Vic was saying, what Daddy Flynn was saying. He just thinking on everything. He's sitting here flicking his daggone lighter back and forth. And I guess contemplating his next moves that he's gonna make or whatever the case may be. Just already knowing that it's about to go down because he ended out the last episode saying, "Nah, the storm is here." All right, so he know what time it is, and so then he's driving and we see this other car coming up chasing him, and of course it's Miss Claudia trying to come and chase him down again. He like, "Girl, you gonna get killed. Keep running up on me like that." And she's basically telling him, "Oh, you need to calm down. Somebody's tense, like it's a game in these streets. No, chick, this ain't a game, okay?" And so anyway, she's telling him how her new drug is the alpha and omega, all right? He ain't got nothing like this. But of course he calls her out like, "Well, yeah, you need a distributor, right? Because that's why you basically coming over here to me. You ain't got nobody that could move it. You probably have it, but you ain't got nobody that could do, what I'm saying, what it needs to be done to get it out there." And so she basically takes out a piece of it and puts it on her lip or whatever the case may be, and then goes in and gives Tommy this kiss, okay? And Tommy is kissing her, whatever, like, "Oh, it probably ain't about nothing," and whatever the case may be. And the next thing you know, baby, Tommy was like, and she was like, "Boop," and he was like, stretched out, okay? Tommy was not able to move. He like, "Oh shit, okay, you wasn't lying. This something here. This something you working with, all right?" Little something. All right, put Tommy right on his behind. So of course, first thing he do is run and telling Liliana about it, and of course, just like a lot of us was thinking, he's asking her if she would be able to break it down, figure out what is these ingredients that is in this. Okay, how are they making this? And he's telling her, of course, not to test any of it by using it. Okay, we just want to test and finding out which chemicals and ingredients is being used. You cannot have any of it. And then he's telling her that he tasted it by getting a kiss, because she was like, of course, trying to figure out, did you smoke it? He's like, "Nah, I didn't smoke anything. Did you sniff it? Did you taste it? How did you get it in here?" And he's like, "A kiss," and she's like, "A kiss by who?" And he's like, "Claudia." She's like, "Well, damn, okay." I'm like, I wouldn't have mind if I would have been getting kissed by Claudia too. And she's like, "You liked it," basically teasing him or whatever the case may be. And so, he was telling her it had a trippy vibe, but it wasn't no MDA. He was like, it was warmer like mushrooms. He just trying to give her the different you know analysis of it, and he just wants to figure this out, because of course if they could figure out these key ingredients, of course Liliana was the one that was cooking up all his other stuff before, and if they get this, they could take it to a whole nother place. You already know where Tommy mind is going, right? And then he wouldn't really have to be dependent on Claudia, because he could probably use Liliana to fix this up for him, all right? And so she was, and he also was saying when he kissed her, he mostly tasted lipstick. Then funny. And so anyway, she's basically like, okay, cool. She gonna go ahead and try to figure it out. She gonna see what stuff that she could break down with this or whatever. She is all here for this. And so we then had Mr. Bingham, the damn cop, coming up on Diamond. Diamond is basically going for a jog, and he comes up on him, calling his name and telling him, hurry up, get over here. Diamond is like, now all of a sudden it's against the law for me to jog. And he like, I said, get over here now, and pushing him up against the daggone car and all of that good stuff. And then he's telling him to get in the car. And so basically Diamond is sitting in the back and he's sitting in the front, and he's just like, you know, oh, do you remember Kiki? And he's like, no, I can't say that I do. And he was like, yeah, you know, that's how y'all drug dealers and hoodlums are. Y'all ruin people's lives, you know, and move on, and then all of a sudden find religion and everything supposed to be all good, you know. And because Diamond was telling him, you keep coming at me like we got a history, like we know each other or something. And then he was like, well, you had a bad batch of '06 that killed 6 people or killed 5 people. And so he said he removed that off the street because he found out it was toxic. And, you know, basically the cop was like, you know, not soon enough. And he was like, well, she's one of the people whose life is ruined because of you. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, Diamond is like, look, I spent 15 years making amends, you know, like, I'm sorry about that, but I don't have no control over it. And, of course, that's when Bingham was going into, yeah, of course, whenever y'all find religion, then y'all want to switch up. And so Diamond throws it out there like, listen, we all got some past and some things that we do. He was like, what about you? And then he's like, you know, what about me? Diamond was like, well, shoot, when you gonna change? He was like, you sure enough ain't finding, you know, a way to turn away from taking that money. And so he like, well, how you know about that? And he was like, only thing that matters is that the other cops don't. And so once Diamond throws that out there, he's like, get out my car, you know. And because Diamond was telling him dirty cops don't do too good out here. And so he says, you know, we got to pass and we can't do nothing about that. All we could do is move forward, and then Diamond go ahead and get out. I like that, though, because now Diamond letting him know he got some shit on him, too. You know, Jannard over here talking to E, of course, still about how he learned the game and how he evolved. And, you know, he ain't going to take no mess. E is telling him, well, why don't we just go ahead and split and make our own thing? We don't really got to sit here and, you know, deal with this and do the whole CBI thing if you don't want to. And Jannard is saying, nah, you know, bump that. This is just as much mine as it is his. And of course, in the meantime, as he's sitting there talking all of this, he basically getting high on his own supply, all right? Which we all know that he should not be doing. You know, Liliana was still there testing the product or whatever the case may be. And, you know, she says to Tommy, so we partners now. And he was like, oh, no, we ain't partners. Ain't no partners. He was like, you need to be getting the hell up out of here. You got to go. And, of course, she's telling him she's not going nowhere. They going back and forth. He's telling her how all the Serbs is looking for her. You know, she in too deep at this point. And that would basically be her only way out. You know, he just want her to find these damn ingredients. But then he wants her to get up out of here. At one point, he even offers her to take the bricks with her so that way she would be able to make money off of that. You know, we see the Serbs again with all of them meeting up. You know, of course, I guess this was their head man. He's coming in. He's pissed at how everything has been going down so far. Of course, everything with that happened, and they were saying, who cares, Tatiana was weak. And he basically blows the guy head off, and another guy gets his damn, you know, blood, brain, mana, or whatever all over him. And so, you know, he's wanting answers as to what the hell's going down and what the hell they gonna be doing next. You know, they all looking after that and nobody had nothing to say. And, you know, we already know they there for Tommy and them. And so then, you know, Liliana is trying every different daggone thing she knows. She's like, damn, man, like, you know, they only have a few runs left. So he was like, yeah, no, I could see that or whatever. And he was like, if I could go get more, would you keep digging? And she said, yeah, she definitely would keep getting, you know, digging. She's not going to give up on this. And he was like, all right, cool, then I'm going to go get more. And so, you know, she says gracias and he says thank you. And she was like, well, you know, what are you smirking at? And that's when she brought up the whole thing of them being partners. And Tommy was like, oh, hell no, you must have a contact high from working on it. Because now that the Serbs know where you at, you definitely can't be no partner. You need a new zip code you're going to need protection and all of that. And I find it interesting that this dynamic changed like this. And now you got Tommy kind of being protective of her and wanting to get her out of there when all before he was trying to kill her. But he sees what time it is with Liliana, and he knows that she has definitely been down for him and been helping him and all of that good stuff. So I've actually grown to like Liliana a lot, especially since she wasn't really a major character that we met all the way back in the freaking original Power in season 1. For her to come now and be having such a big impact is definitely cool. Wasn't expecting that. And so then we had Maya telling Liliana that she's not moving to Dahlia the way she says she was, okay? And she ain't happy with it. And I'm like, Maya, you better tread lightly, girl, okay? Because I've been seeing it for you, like the little bit of episodes and time you've been in there, girl. You've been trying to talk out the side of your mouth, alright? She was telling Claudia before she might have chosen the wrong Flynn. Did she get the right Flynn? And Claudia was telling her, yeah. So I was like, girl, don't be asking too many questions and talking too much mess. And so she's asking Claudia what she waiting for. And Claudia's like, we got to be smart about this. We got to worry about the other dealers. Maya talking about forget about the other dealers. I need to know what's going on. I need to know my stuff going to be out here. And if you don't do what you need to do, I'm going to take this somewhere else. And when she said that, I was like, girl, Claudia, you might not make it to the night. Okay, boo? And so we then had, Tommy go see Diamond. They talking, and Diamond lets him know he heard some noise about the Serbians. He's like, Tatiana's high on the list, and Tommy was like, yeah, well, she had to go on, right? And so he was like, we gotta do what we gotta do. And he said, I'm hitting hard. I need some soldiers. This is what Tommy is telling Diamond. And so he was like, how much you trying to chance for you to fight with me is gonna cost me. And so Diamond tells him, you don't make a single move without having another 5, okay? And Tommy was asking him what did he want. And he says he wants a controlling stake and at least 51%. And then Tommy was like, ooh, that's a big percent, And so Tommy was like, you know what? I would love to make this deal, but the problem is I don't owe 50%. And of course, this is when Vic comes walking in. And he's like, oh, Lord, he got a price too. And he's like, yeah, basically it would be split 3 ways. He already got 2 bodies. And then, Tommy lets him know, like, yeah, the kid's a good shot. Okay, 5 serves is dead. He got 2 of them. And he was like, look, all we got to do now is chop the head off, all right? And we in there. And we control the pipeline and we control the west side of the city. And so, of course, that's sounding good, okay? So they all go and they watching the Serbs, seeing how their movements is going or whatever the case may be. And Tommy was like, look, we only got a few to take down. The city is deep. They got different spots, take them out piece by piece. And so they was like, okay, well, now that we know the moves, let's talk money. Vic says this, we are equal partners. And so Janard says, well, that's 33%. 33% apiece. He was like, that still leaves 1% out there. And Vic says he'll give his 1% out. And then, Tommy saying after a while all them dollars add up, so he don't care. Zero, and Diamond says 0% of nothing is nothing. So at this point they all on board as far as that part goes. And he was saying he would bring in the cavalry. This is a huge play and this is going to change it for all of them. And so they are all down with it. And Tommy was bringing Janard, and Diamond was like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And he like, nah, we need everybody, okay? Everyone. Like my man from, what was that movie? The Professional says. And so Janard and Diamond, of course, then discuss it because he have to go and tell Janard about it. Of course, at first, Janard is pushing back. He don't think it's a good idea. He's like, why you always trying to chase behind these damn white boys? But Diamond keeps trying to get him to see the bigger picture. He's like, it's not about Tommy or Vic. It's about us doing something big that we have never done, okay? Anytime we've ever been in this, we've always been the street runners and the lower level people that's working for the big dogs. This gives us a seat at the table, and the only way we could get a seat at the table is to snatch it. He tells Janard it's 34%. Do the math. And even Janard had to be like, whoa. And he like, yeah, you know what I mean? See what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, money talks, bullshit walk, all right? And so he tells Jannard that he needs him. And Jannard says, okay, he's down, and he gives him £1. But are you really down, Jannard? Are you? I don't know. I don't trust you all the way still, boy. Okay? We got to see what you're working with. And so basically, we then, have Tommy come back to Liliana again. Of course, he done been out here trying to do all his little networking and talking and stuff. So she asking him, did he get more stuff? And he's like, no. She like, well, what the hell was you doing all this time? And he basically starts telling her again, that nobody can know about this whole little thing that he just brought to her from Claudia but them, okay? That has to stay between them and them only. And he's basically also tells her again about leaving Chicago. He's like, look, this ain't negotiable. You got to get up out of here. He's trying to offer her, the drugs. He's trying to offer her money. He's telling her she could start over a life somewhere else. And she tells him, doing what? Starting where? And he was like, well, damn, you ain't got no family. She was like, no, I don't. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to bother them. She was like, this is my life. I know no other life. She was like, can't you understand that? And of course, if anybody can understand this shit, okay, it's Tommy. He just looking, and I think, that kind of like gave him a different perspective where he could understand where she's coming from. And, basically she was saying, everything that, she's had so far, has basically been because of him, and that she's going to stay in there. She's going to hang with it. She's going to hold him down, hold herself down. She don't need no protecting. She's used to standing on her own and, fighting. And that's just what it is, okay? And so he sees that he's not going to get her to go. She's like, New York is dead. Miami is trash. LA ain't got nothing going on. And so she ain't trying to budge. Of course, after them arguing back and forth, he sees that she's a hard-headed and she ain't going to do it. So he tells her to just lay low. And she says, okay, We then have Simon ask Vic if he thought this all the way through, if he really thinks this is a good idea. Vic says yes. Of course, Simon is concerned because CBI is involved and they've never done anything like this. But Simon is saying what all of them are saying. This is about the money, okay? I don't give a damn about none of that other stuff. The money talks, okay? So he was saying that he needs to get his different crews together to be able to come on and come through with this. Tommy comes to see Claudia again, She's coming off with this attitude, and he like, yo, you call me, okay? And she asked him, what would a deal with him look like? And he says, Tommy is so funny. Since he's running point, he wants 70%, okay? And she's like, you must be out your damn mind. Like, oh, hell no, get out. And he says, okay, good luck then. And then she says to him, 60-40, okay? It is her product and it's her play. And so, at first he was trying to give her a little budge with that. But they basically come to an agreement, where she was telling him that she need him to do, something else for her. Go get the stuff. So I was like, yeah, Claudia, okay, you funny, but I ain't mad at you, sis. We all got to try to get our paper, right? And so then you have, the Serbs loading up and Tommy calling him, asking him, is he good? Tommy calling Diamond, asking him, is he good? He at the barbershop cutting hair. He like, yeah, we good. He was like, this seems like a lot of trouble for one person. And Tommy says it's bigger than one person, At the same time, Tommy is busy watching Mai, okay? Because this is the favor that Claudia was asking about. And we see him follow behind the guy where Mai is keeping the stuff at, where she just finished, giving him some money. And Tommy come up in there with the gun out and grabbed his bag. And when the guy stood up, Tommy had the gun in his face like, come on, big boy, come on out, okay? Excuse me. So when he gets out there, he's asking him, like, how much you get paid for working here anyway? And he was like $30 an hour. And he gives him a little something. And was like, okay, I'm saying, this is for the day to hold you down. And he was like, don't tell nobody nothing about this. And he said, well, what's in those 2 tubs anyway? It's basically just 2 barrels that's there. And, he's like, oh, nothing to worry about, or whatever the case may be. And so, we have Liliana in the damn house, and her hard-headed behind go ahead and take a sniff anyway, even though Tommy told her not to. I'm going like, Liliana, what are you doing? Don't do it, girl, don't do it. And she was like, After she took that daggone hit, baby, and the next thing you know, Leanna grabbing her damn coat and leaving out of Tommy's house. I'm like, are you serious, girl? Liliana. Girl, what you doing? All right, you have me with my blood pressure going up because I really don't want nothing to happen to Liliana. I have grown to like her now, okay? And so Vic goes and sees Glow, and he's asking her to go for a ride. She talking about, oh, well, I was about to go out and walk, and he's like, come on, bear with me. I'll bring you back for you to be able to open up the bar. And she's like, okay. And he takes her to this place where we see is just, land and trees, grass, whatever. And she's like, okay, what am I doing here? Why did you bring me here? And he's basically saying, this is our dreamland. He was like, I bought this land. This is a place where we could build that house that I drew. We could have our kids be able to look out the window. He talking about, isn't it beautiful? And of course, this all sounds good. And Glow is saying that's a beautiful dream. And he's like, no, that's not just a dream. This is something that can be reality. All right. And so, of course, they kiss. And of course, Paulie is busy watching Vic this whole time, taking pictures. And my whole thing is Daddy Vic stays watching Vic, right? We know this. Daddy Flynn stays watching Vic. We know this because we seen when it was the last episode that he hurried up and like already knew that he was messing with Tommy. Daddy Vic needs to be keeping his eye on freaking Miss Claudia too, though. I think he's sleeping on her and he's more so aware and worried about the fact that Vic is dating Glow and all this other stuff and not following certain protocol. But he needs to find out what Claudia into too, because Claudia's out here in these streets, baby, okay? So I found that interesting. And Portly does go back to him with the pictures, show him the pictures, and tells him we cannot always control our kids. And he was like, you don't want to mess around and be like me. I lost my child because, of course, we seen Paulie with his son out in the streets, homeless and mixed up on drugs. And he was like, you got two kids that's fighting over one seat. And Paulie was basically just dropping straight facts to him. But, of course, he didn't want to hear it. We have Tommy call Claudia and tell her that he has the barrels, but they're going to need way more than that. And she is saying that she got it. Don't worry about it. She will make sure that they have it, okay? And then we see Paulie come in and start kicking everybody out of there going Glow Bar. She looking like, what the hell? Okay, here we go. Daddy Flynn comes up behind and he want to tell Glow about some mess of how, she looked like a beautiful angel and, a godsend and all this other nonsense. But she is not an angel that can be around his son Vic. You know what I'm saying? His son Vic will not be the one sitting there waking up to her face every day and having grandkids that would be looking at her face. And he just disgusts me, okay? He disgusts me and he disgusts Glow too. All right. And he told her, because she was saying her relationship with, Vic has absolutely nothing to do with whatever she owes him. And he was like, oh, but you're wrong. And he was like, actually, if you walk away from him, then I could consider our debt being paid in full. And of course, you don't have, long to give me that answer, okay? And as he's coming out, the feds are talking about his relationship with Paulie, how they go, how they move. They already know they whole, network. It seemed like they've been following and watching. And so they actually say that's their way in as Daddy Flynn is getting into the car. You have Jabari, Tommy's brother, taking pics of Kate from the video, okay? I don't know what he about to do with that. And it seemed like he reminiscing and he still being nosy. And I'm like, okay, now don't go messing around and make Tommy get pissed off. And then he's looking through pictures smiling, but he comes across this one picture where I wasn't too sure what was happening in that picture. Was that supposed to be like Tommy running behind him? Because it looked like he was looking at the picture. First I thought maybe it was a picture of his son. But then it was like, okay, no, I guess this is a picture of him as a little kid. And then he goes Tommy. So I don't know if he was just saying Tommy just in general, like, dag, all this time I had a brother, but I had to be there by myself. Or if he was saying Tommy, because we do see a little boy running behind him in the picture. So I don't know what to really make of that part as of yet. But if anybody has, any comments on that, leave it in the comment section. Okay, I would appreciate it. Maybe I'll got that part more better than I did. And, we had Vic come in pissed off with his father, okay, saying, how dare you? He's like, he basically threatened Glow because, of course, when he comes in screaming, Claudia want to know what he's screaming about, what's going on. And he was like, oh, nothing. Your father just thinks it's okay to go around threatening people. And, Daddy Flynn is like, I ain't threatened nobody. I came and I told the facts like it is. And Vic says, you need to chill. Like, you overstepping, you doing too much, you out of line, basically. And he was like, no, what's going to happen, which I keep telling you, is that you're going to marry an Irish woman. You're going to be happy. You're going to have kids with her and call it a day. And Vic tells him, look how that worked out for you. And Daddy Flynn hauled off and pit slapped Vic, okay? Made his whole body turn around, all right? And so, he walks off or whatever the case may be, and Claudia comes up and says he's not made like you. All right. And I'm like, I don't know how that one gonna go, y'all. All right. I hope Glow don't end up getting killed either. We seeing CBI together, getting all their weapons together. You got Tommy and his, Tommy coming through. You got Vic with his crew. They all together. Of course, they trying to say little, snide remarks to each other. But they basically getting the guns together. They ready to go, okay? So we see that the Serbs done goddamn Lily Anna, okay? With her dad going high behind. And he's telling her that she makes a lot of noise for a little person. And he's like, would you like to make noise for me? And they basically end up taking her hands out of the, being tied up and basically break her damn fingers. Child, Lord have mercy. And so when he was like, we're going to ask you again, where's Tommy? Yo, freaking Lily Anna is a freaking G, yo. Put some respect on my girl name, because her finger was literally hanging like this to the side, but it was broken different places, and she lifted it up and was like, right here. I was like, okay, Lily Anna. Like, Lily Anna be taking them punches. She be throwing down. She do not care. I am here for it, all right? And so Claudia, comes to see Glow as if this was any better, and basically was telling her, I know my brother loves you. I know you love my brother, but it ain't going to work. It ain't going to be able to go. My father's not going to allow it. And, I know about this land, because Glow was saying, you don't know nothing about our relationship. She was like, well, I do know about this land, and this land could be yours, and you could make a whole bunch of money if you sell it. In other words, she would basically give her the deed. And Glow was like, are you kidding me? And do you think this makes you better than your father? And of course, Claudia talking about I'm nothing like my father. And she was like, actually, you are worse than him, okay? Your daddy is sick and still strong and still stronger than you. And so she was like, what do you mean by that? Because of course, Claudia don't know nothing about Daddy Flynn being sick. Only Vic does. So this, of course, is probably going to make her start investigating that. But Glow said, girl, I need you to get up out of my damn bar. Goodbye, all right? And I wasn't mad at it. And so Tommy and the crew get there. They hitting the Serbs. They taking them out, and all of a sudden another guy comes from behind that they don't see. As soon as they were singing, oh, that was easy. And basically, blows my Simon. Simon's out, okay? Simon was gone. He was gone, all right? And Tommy then turns and shoots the guy. And so, of course, Vic is screaming, "Sa, sa, sa." And Tommy is like, we got to get up out of here. He's gone. So that's one down from their team. Mai finds out the barrels are gone. And Claudia comes in like she's supposed to be so concerned. Talking about, what happened? What's going on? And she's like, well, I could fix this for you. That's why you got to be happy and lucky that you got me in charge, because I could get things done and all this and that. And Maya flips it back on her and was like, girl, you full of crap. You ain't doing nothing. You really think you about something? Like, nah, I'm not going to deal with this no more. I'm going to go ahead and get the hell up out of here. I'm going to find somebody else. I'm like, my, you really not paying attention, girl. Really was not. And just like I said, Claudia went to grab her, and she basically, hits Claudia and was like, get off of me. Slapped the mess out of her like Daddy Flynn slapped the mess out of Vic. And Claudia came up behind her and stabbed her ass right in the damn neck, okay? Well, I think it was the neck or going up to the head, child. And Maya was on that floor bleeding next, okay? And I was like, see, that's why you was supposed to keep your mouth shut, girl. You wasn't reading the signs. And so, Tommy and the crew get to the next spot inside, and they having a shootout with the Serbs. They getting all into it, everybody getting their shit off. And he gets shot in the daggone neck, y'all, and he bleed out. So that's number 2 down from their crew. I'm like, oh Lord. And so they basically get all them down, and Tommy's trying to ask questions and find out, where's Markovich, or however the hell you say his name. One guy shoots the other guy before he can answer, and then Tommy comes over to him and was asking him, but he did look like he was about to raise his gun. And then Diamond shoots him, and Tommy's like, yo, what the hell are you doing? And Diamond was like, he looked like he was about to blow your damn head off, okay? I'm saving your life. And so Tommy gets a call at that point where the person is saying enough bodies, and enough bodies falling, and Tommy is basically like, yo, where's she at? What's going on? He already know what time it is. He know they got Liliana, because they was saying the eye for an eye, and he was like, nah. And so basically, Tommy is telling them, I need y'all help. They got Liliana, and as far as that goes, they are all like, nah, you on your own. We came to do what we had to do. We got the job done. We lost some of our men. We ain't trying to do nothing else. That's that on that. They basically all agree with that, and they all leave Tommy hanging. So Tommy gets a text saying, to come on by where he live at. Okay, they already know where the hell he live. And basically you just seeing like Claudia getting damn high while my body is still laying on the damn carpet with blood all over it. You seeing Jannard watching Diamond outside the daggone barbershop, looking like he contemplating something. And so Tommy shows up to where, the Serbs told him to meet. And he's like, all right, come on, where she at? Enough of this small talk. Let's get to it. Get her out here. And then, they bring him out, and Tommy sees how she's looking, and he's like, Jesus. And they basically, he's like, well, they was telling him he's been making more problems and more trouble than she has. And he was like, all right, so then let her go and take me. But just as he's saying that, all of a sudden we see a car coming, speeding up, shooting. Tommy tells them to get down. And he hurries up and grabs Liliana. At this point, they running to go get in their car. And then Liliana's like, who the hell was that? He's like, I don't know. And we see that Liliana did get shot in the shoulder. She's like, yo, this shit hurt. And he's like, all right, you good. It went straight through. And so we see somebody taking off gloves and masks and burning up car and all this stuff. It was the boy Jannard coming through. Okay, so now I'm assuming Jannard did that because he like Liliana. Okay, so did Jannard come through, or did he? Like, I don't know, but okay, Jannard, I see you. I know we still can't trust your behind until you prove otherwise. But this was cute. I liked it, y'all. That was how the episode went off. So, what y'all think we gonna have coming next, y'all? I don't know. Tell me about it. Tell me what you think. Put all your stuff in the comments, and like, share, subscribe. Till next time, too.